You're welcome.
Is there a Marvel comic or Marvel character that you want to see as a major motion picture that other people at Marvel wish you would just let go of?
Now, everybody at Marvel wants to do them all. The two I can't wait for, though, are Doctor Strange and Black Panther. And you'll be seeing them in the works.
I'm saying it should.
They think that's an inexpensive one. I mean, the guy is only that big. How much film?
What do you say is in the works?
All right, let's go over here.
I just wanted to say thank you for creating Peter Parker, Stanley, because I think, I don't know where I'd be if I didn't grow up with Peter Parker. Just the geeky guy who could make it. So thank you very much. And
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't either. I kind of like Peter Parker, and the thing I liked about him was what my publisher hated. He not only hated the idea of calling him Spider-Man, but he said you can't have a hero who's a geek and who isn't that popular, and he's not that great looking, and girls don't like him. Stan, don't you know what a hero is? And he argued with me all the time, until the sales figures. And he said, we need more geek heroes.
And my question is just real quick. Which Spider-Man villain that you didn't create do you think, damn, I just wish I created him?
Something about Spider-Man. I can't think of any that I didn't create.
Thank you.
Thank you, and Excelsior, Stan.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Hey, you all know what that means? It's from an old English saying, which means, and it's very apropos, it means upward and onward to greater glory. What could be better, huh?
Stan, do you have a definition for hero?
Stanley. I think a hero is anybody who just does something good when he's faced with a choice. Am I going to go on the dark side, or will I go on the right side? When you have a choice between the good and the bad, and you pick the good, you're a hero. And it doesn't matter if you're a nurse working in a hospital, if you're a prize fighter, if you're a scientist, or if you're the President of the United States. The one who does things that are good is a hero. The ones who does things that are bad, it's DC Comics.
Thoughts were on seeing two of your most popular creations go at it in Avengers vs. X-Men.
Oh, it's great. I used to do that in the comic books all the time. I'd have the Hulk fight Iron Man, or Spider-Man fight the Fantastic Four, or I'd fight her, it doesn't matter. It's always fun when heroes fight each other. And of course, I did it out of laziness. A new book would be, you know, these books were published every month, and we had, I don't know, 8 or 10 or 15 of them a month, whatever it was. It was a little hard to dream up a new villain all the time. So being a lazy guy, I'd say, well, I can't think of a villain right now, so I'll just let a couple of the heroes fight each other. You can always find an excuse, and that's how it happened. And all of a sudden, I realized people like that. It's kind of fun. The thing that I get very often, a fan will come up and say, in great seriousness, who would win if the Hulk fought Thor? And I always would say it depends on who's writing the story. But people seem to love that business of heroes fighting each other, and who am I to go against what people want, right?
Exactly. All right, let's go over here.
Stan, I want to ask, what was it like working with Jack Kirby during the early days of Marvel?
Oh, it was great. Jack was so good. What he was an artist, but he was also a story writer with pictures. He and I would discuss what the story should be, whether it was for Thor or the Fantastic Four, or whatever book he was working on. And we just talk either I'd write out a little outline, or we would just talk about it for a couple of minutes. You know, I might say something like, in the next Fantastic Four, why don't we have the Dr. Doom kidnaps Sue Storm, and he takes her to Latveria, and the Fantastic Four have to rescue her, and here's how they'll rescue her. And that would be all I'd say. Now, he had to fill up 22 pages with just that, and he made up most of the little incidents, and then he would send me the 22 pages of artwork with all those drawings beautifully done in pencil, and I would put in all the dialogue balloons and the captions and the sound effects. I'd write them all in, and looking at the drawings that he did, it made it such fun for me to do the dialogue, because if I'd see a face like this, I knew the guy was scared. So it was easy for me to put in some masterful bit of dialogue like and then the book would go out. So anyway, it was a great collaboration, but I was lucky. All the artists at Marvel were the same way. They were all visual storytellers. Gene Colan, Steve Ditko, John Romita, Bill Payne, they were the greatest. They made me look good, that's why I loved them.
Was Captain America the first character you and Jack Kirby collaborated on?
It was the first one I collaborated with him on, but I did not create Captain America. That was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. And when I came to work there, that was the one superhero strip they had that meant anything. And I was given that to write after a few months. So it was wonderful, because I had read it as a civilian, and now I'm working in the place and I'm writing the stories and working with Jack. So that was terrific, but that was the first one I worked on.
Okay, let's go over here.
Hi, Stan. I
That's
think
not literally true. We're not going over there. What she means is, I don't want you to think
Point that way.
leaving the stage.
I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I think I speak for a lot of people here when I say I try to be half the man Peter Parker is. And I want to know from you, what do you think it is about Peter that makes people love him and want to be with him or sympathize with him?
Well, you're going to reduce that to 10 words. Oh, I guess the fact that Peter Parker is not your typical hero. He has problems. He worries about money. He always has love problems, or at least he did when I wrote him. And he's a guy who he's tortured in many ways. He doesn't always want to be a superhero, but it has been thrust on him. And I think people can relate. See, when I was writing him, I had everything go wrong. In one story, he'd have an ingrown toenail, so it was tough for him to run around. Whatever I can think of to make things difficult. And the thing I love best, there'd be a time when he had an old Aunt May, and she was always ill and half dying. And there'd be a story where Aunt May needed medicine desperately, or she'd expire. Now, the medicine was at a pharmacy at that side of town. But at the same time, whoever the supervillain was, is about to destroy half the city on that side of town. And Peter can only go to one place at a time. So does he go to save his Aunt May, or does he go to save the city? And how do we get him out of that dilemma? So I think by doing that sort of thing a lot in the stories, it made people relate to him. Because most people have, well, they don't have to save the city maybe, but we've always got little serious problems like, should I go to the movies with her or should I go to work this afternoon? Decide what to do.
Okay.
That was a kind of strange answer. I don't know if I really answered the question. They all forgot the question by now anyway.
Yes?
Hi, you've always been my role model and I always wanted to shake your hand, but which is your favorite superhero?
Well, I'm very flattered. I don't really have a favorite. I love them all. And whichever one I was writing at the moment, that was my favorite at the time. But it's like asking who's your favorite child, or, you know, you love all your children.
No.
Who's well, of course, my favorite person up here on the stand is this young lady. There's no doubt about that. But I'll be happy to shake your hand at any time.
Okay. We didn't respond to that earlier.
Yes?
If you could ask Conan the Barbarian one question, what would it be?
This is a picture of Stan thinking.
Why did you stop having Schwarzenegger play your role? Because he's the only guy that did it right.
Good answer. I like it. All right. How about you?
Who's your favorite villain?
Dr. Doom, I mentioned that earlier.
Okay, we have time for one more question. I'm so sorry, guys.
Just getting started.
We just got the sign. Time's up. I know. Don't shoot the messenger. It's her, not me. All right. Yes.
Hi, Stan. Hi, Stan. It's a pleasure to ask a question. I enjoy looking out for you in all the Marvel movies, but I'm just curious, which is your favorite cameo in the Marvel movies?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. Can you imagine if I mentioned one of them and then the directors or the producers or any of the other? Oh, so that was your favorite?
We won't tell.
One I did. Oh no, they're all my favorites. Every one of them. Actually, I do love them. The Marvel movies, to me, they're fun, and that's what a movie should be. You sit in the audience, you're watching them. Oh, I'll admit they're not the Green Lantern, but they're the best.
Oh, ouch.
Two more questions, so let's go over here.
Stan, I love you. I just wanted to ask you, when you created all these iconic characters so long ago, which one did you expect to have longevity today, Stan?
Which one did I expect? But I heard the beginning. I didn't hear the beginning. In all honesty, I didn't dream that any of them would have the longevity they have. In those days, we just hoped that the books would sell for a while, we would keep our jobs and be able to pay the rent. In a million years, we couldn't have thought that one day I'd be addressing a whole group of people about them, and there'd be movies, and there'd be articles in the paper. We would have thought we were dreaming. It couldn't have happened.
Thanks for everything.
Hello, Stan. You're doing a very good job with the movies and in the comic books. I have a two-part question. Of the 70s Spider-Man live actions, do you remember the one with the transformable robot and the jet car? Will that ever be English dubbed?
I heard Spider-Man live action.
What was the question?
This one I don't get. Max, are you here? Did you hear that question? Okay, you're not. We're going back. I don't know. could you clarify the question a little bit?
Over here.
Yeah.
Live action series.
Wait, what live action series in the 70s?
Well, you dubbed it Spider Ninja.
Was that a Japanese one? I don't remember any American Spider Ninja. Was there one? Do you know, Max? Max knows everything. Huh? Now I don't hear you. Come here. Let me... Everybody whispers around here. Oh yeah, I said the Japanese one. I gotta tell you a funny thing about that. Since you're in... Is he over there? It's where the voice was coming. Somebody there is playing tricks on me. Anyway, the Japanese did a whole series of Spider-Man movies, television shows. And I've seen them. And they were very well done, but there's one thing about them that I never could get over. Everyone was the same. It had the same formula. Here's how it opened up. Peter Parker was wandering along somewhere, and suddenly he'd see a very evil, giant robot who was doing bad things. The robot was about 30 feet high, and it was destroying something. So Peter would run somewhere, and all of a sudden, another robot would rise out of the ground, and that was Peter's, that was Spider-Man's. He would jump into that robot, and then the two robots would fight, and in the end, Spider-Man's robot beat the evil. And that was the story. Next week, there was another episode. Peter Parker is walking along. I swear, they were all the same formula. There was always a bad robot. Peter would get into his good robot, and he'd fight the bad one. But what I don't understand is, what was the question?
English dub for one DVD for the American audience?
I don't know if he would necessarily know, but if it is, I bet we could get him to put it on his website, therealstanlee.com. That would be someplace you can check back for that answer. Also, if you guys don't know about his YouTube channel, World of Heroes, you need to subscribe because there's going to be all sorts of good stuff on there. And Twitter, The Real Stan Lee. Here is the gentleman who would like to shake your hand.
He's awesome.
By the way, thank you so much. She's got all my little websites written here, and I think she was told, don't forget to mention this. Did you forget any of them?
But I subscribe, so I imagine most of these people are
No,
just in case.
wait a minute, to be a good salesman.
Yes.
You subscribe to what?
Stan, let me tell you, I subscribe to your YouTube channel, World of Heroes.
And what else?
And I also follow you on Twitter, @TheRealStanLee.
Anything else?
Well, sometimes if I'm desperate for some Stan-isms, or Stan, I need to get my Stan fill, I go to TheRealStanLee.com.
Should we pause a minute to give them time to make notes?
I think I got it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Now that you know what the word means, you can all join me in shouting, hey!